I have, while being here before, I'll try this again. Now it says you're live. Okay. I have been, while being here before, caught walking between the old patio and the well. So, and Sean, you were saying that you just had a REM pod experience back there.
Yeah, actually, I just set down the REM pod, and you set it down and it zeroes out. And so I set it down. I took literally probably 3, 4 steps away from it, and I started going off.
Interesting.
So it's already zeroed out. I'm not quite sure what it could have been, but
Okay. We'll keep an ear out for it.
definitely.
So, yeah, so like I said, Gore Orphanage was not actually the Gore Orphanage. This was the Swift Mansion. It's a misnomer. I just got done explaining this all to Sean, so he's probably like, man, I gotta hear all this again. And there's Shay. Hey, how's it going, Shay? So there was an orphanage up there, up the hill. We'll go up there in a little while, which was the Orphanage of Light of Hope, or the Light of Hope Orphanage, which came in after this house here was abandoned. Now, they bought the property to use the field back there, which is off back on the other side of the trees, for farming up and down the hill and farm, but nobody actually stayed in this house while the orphanage was here. It was just an abandoned house. Now, I imagine the kids came in here at times and played and stuff like that, but nobody actually lived here during that time. All the stories of the fire and everything were long after the orphanage was gone. The orphanage was here from 1906 to 1916. This house did burn down in 1923 when they had plans to actually kind of revive it and that sort of thing. It was known as a haunted house back then. So the headline was Haunted House Burns Down. Hey, how's it going, Greg? And there's Paranormal Pursuit. Hey, good to see you guys.
Hey,
the
guys.
Haglin, Pamela. Cool. And Tom McNicholas. All right. So yeah.
Super chat. Sorry.
Super chat, superstar, Tom McNicholas. Yeah. Sean knows. So yeah, all the stories of this, old man Gore, and locking the kids in at night, and the house burning down, the kids all dying. No, that didn't happen. So the Sprungers are the ones that ran the orphanage up the hill. They were mean. That part is true. They were mean, and they actually went to court. You can look up all that stuff. We did a nice video on all of that back in December, if you want to check that out. But I mean, all the newspaper articles are readily available. But yeah, this was the Swift Mansion. Now the sad part about here is that their grandchildren. And there's $5 super chat from superstar Tom McNicholas.
Nice.
Yeah, the sad story here is the Wilbur family. They came in after the Swifts. They had 4 grandchildren and this die of diphtheria. Really, really sad. There's nothing to show that they died here. By all accounts, they're home with their parent. They did spend a lot of time here. The Wilburs were spiritualists. The grandmother, she was doing things like, like I said, they were spiritualists, and so they did hold 78, something like that. And so all the stories that you've heard about Gore Orphanage, just most of them are untrue urban legends. So there you go. All right, so Sean, we have we have nature predicaments here.
Yes. Yes, there's actually a tree that blocked the road.
Yeah, Sean set up a REM pod back there. Sorry for any of the buffering. I usually have a good signal out here, but I'm thinking the storm that blew through, that's creating all this havoc and bugs everywhere, is kind of really doing a number on us. So, what do you want to check out, Sean? I've been here a number of times. What do you want to do?
Oh, you said you heard footprints or footsteps over there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe we should try and check out over there and maybe do an EVP session and
Could do that.
maybe go from there. I don't know.
Well, we can give it a whirl. So, I will tell you guys this. If you ever want to see, and I've posted in the video that we have, but you can actually look it up for yourselves. The Library of Congress actually has the original blueprints for this house, so you can see where everything was. Where there were like 2 living rooms, where the kitchen was, the dining room, bedrooms, all that. It was like an 8,000 square foot house, so it was a lot bigger than it appears just from here, because there's a whole other wing that was off over here. So, hi Charles, how you doing? So, best way would probably be to go around unless you want to go straight through.
We can go around.
Or we can go around that way. So.
We're here?
We're here. So, and then there's all the water up at the front. So, we had to traverse the water to get up here. So we'll do a little, I guess we'll do a little EVP session. And I'll have to take Sean up the hill, show him the spot where Shauna got the vibrator in the ear sensation that she talked about. And
I
then,
don't want to experience a vibrator, but...
right.
Sorry, bad joke.
Well, those were her words. That's what she said it felt like. Not exactly where that's supposed to go. So, but you guys can see, maybe looking back, there's these little pieces of stone throughout this area where the fence line had been. And there's actually a couple of pillars that were along the fence line. 3 of them. One is still there, has been totally defiled, desecrated by all the kids that have come down here and partied. 2 of them from here are missing. Shauna and I solved that mystery. So if you watch that December video, you'll be able to see where those are. We're going to go up where they are anyway. And the people that have them probably don't even realize what they are. So, I missed so let's see. So James, where this at? It's in Ohio. The Swift Mansion Gore Orphanage area. There's Shauna. Hello, my love. All right.
Hi, Shauna.
Yeah, so this is the well down there. You guys might be able to see it. That's the well. And so this is the room pod.
Yeah, see, that's where I put the REM pod, and I was standing
down there.
pretty close to where you were saying when it went off again.
Okay.
So there's no way I could have set it off.
Yeah, and just walking up to it, it's not going off on its own. So
Right.
I don't know. So maybe it was somebody was sneaking up behind you. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but in the past I've caught like walking.
Oh, it's back there?
The back. What? Well, it was from there toward the well area. So like from the back patio to the well.
You know what?
So, and how do you say that? The live stuff due to Thailand. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
So, good to have you aboard.
Battery's dead.
The battery's dead.
I put in brand new batteries last night.
So it went off one time, and then the batteries died.
Yeah.
Wow.
Luckily,
Okay.
I brought another battery.
So put another battery in. See what happens. Okay. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
So, all right. So, you do have to be careful. I've seen snakes and stuff in here before. So. Yeah.
Snakes to get around here. Okay,
I've seen some brown snakes in here before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, all right. So we'll switch that out and kind of give you guys an idea from the backside. And yeah, they're headed back out. So they must have fixed that. They must have cut that out of there. So there's the basement. Yeah, our cars are sitting like right in the middle of the road now. Well, fortunately, not too many people come through here. So we'll walk back. All right. You get it in there?
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. Is the well not covered? No, the well is not covered. There's no cover on the well.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, wherever you want to put it. Like I said, the walking was from like the back patio area this way toward the well.
Okay, so I had it in the wrong place anyways.
Well, no, being by the well was fine. Because like I said, it was toward the well, so it would have like ended. So.
Put it right here.
All right. All right. You said you want to try a little EVP session?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Let's give it a whirl.
Are you already recording on yours?
I've had my recorder going since we started.
Really?
Yeah.
I've got to turn mine on. Not prepared.
Nah, not at all. But yeah, I'll listen to all the audio after the fact and go
Yeah.
over it. Yeah.
This recorder, I literally got off of a website for $25. It's called tmart.com. I've seen this exact recorder on ghost hunting websites for like $50.
And that's not a sponsored shout out.
So, not at all. I'm just saying because I love this recorder.
All right, let's give it a roll.
All right.
Okay. Well, hello, Mike here. You might remember me. I've been here several times now. Here with my friend Sean, introducing him to your lovely home. So, again, as usual, just coming here, wanting to learn a little bit more about you, your life here, the things that happened, and just become friends in the long run. Who's with us here today?
Sorry, it's bugs crawling up my leg.
Do we have any family or the Wilbur family today? Are any of the children here? Want to come out and play? All right, we'll check it.
Come on. Now it doesn't want to cooperate.
After you just gave it that wonderful plug.
I know, right? It's just a cheap thing. I mean, what are you going to do? All right. Go mode. There we go.
All right, he's got it. Yes.
Hello, Mike here. You might remember me. I've been here several times now. Here with my friend Sean, introducing him to your lovely home. So, again, as
that
usual,
where the mic is?
just
No,
coming here,
no, Mike's down there.
wanting to learn a little bit more about you, your life here, the things that happened, and just become friends in the long run. So, who's with us here today? Besides bugs crawling on my leg.
Yeah.
Do we have anybody from the Swift family or the Wilbur family with us here today? Are any of the children here? Want to come out and play? Alright, check it.
I didn't hear anything, but they may have because they were a little bit closer. So to answer some of the stuff here in the chat real quick, I know I went over it at the very beginning. We'll just catch a couple people up. So, this site, even though people call it the Gore Orphanage, was never really the Gore Orphanage. There never was a old man Gore. This building was never used for the orphanage, even though the orphanage bought the land up the hill. This was the Swift Mansion, which predated the orphanage. The Wilbur family lost 4 grandchildren while they lived here. They held seances in the house. Now, the orphanage did buy the land. It was a...
Yeah.
Lenora. So, yeah, so we were just remarking, I don't know if you guys caught it, that this started crapping out again when we started talking about the history of the location. That, boom, the feed went. Now, we had problems at the very beginning of the feed when I was talking about the history off over there. So we're in a different location than when we started the feed, but we were talking about the history then, and the feed was just talking about the history now. The feed crapped out again. So there might be some sort of reaction from, from anybody that may be here to us talking about the history of the location.
Do you like it when people talk about your history? Those bugs are gonna come up probably.
Yeah.
Mike has been here multiple times. He loves it, and he loves your history. Is there anything you'd like to say to Mike?
Yeah, I'm just trying to set the record straight, let people know the true story of what happened here because they've created some, very ugly, nasty stories about this house that just aren't true. Some of the things are things that happened up the hill long after you were already gone from here. But they've put those stories onto you. So I'm just trying to make sure that they have the right story. Is that okay?
And
Bugs.
if you are trying to let us know that you're here by interfering with the camera here, if you go over to the red disc, I don't know if you can see colors, but it'll light up and it'll make noise. I'll show you. And that's a good way for you to let us know that you're here, and we'd really appreciate it. See, look. That's all you have to do, and it won't hurt you, I promise.
So to answer the question in there about from Hell's House about when it was knocked down, so it did actually burn down in 1923, but not from any fire set by Mr. Gore. There was no Mr. Gore. The Gore is actually the name for a map correction. And then Orphanage was appended onto the name of the road because it was originally just Gore Road. It did burn down in 1923 as an abandoned house. It had been abandoned since the late 1890s. The entire time the orphanage was up the hill, inhabited as a house. I'm sure that the kids coming down here to work in the fields played in the house from time to time. I mean, kids being kids. Mystery as to how the fire was set, being an abandoned house, whether it was kids or there were plans to revitalize the house and use it again, and all of a sudden it burned down. So was there a conspiracy there? We don't know. But we're going to have to go here in a few minutes. I want to show Sean up the hill and some other areas up there. But if there's anything you'd like us to know, we'd be willing to pass it on. Or if there's something that, part of the story that you want us to get straight, we'd love to hear that straight from you. I think our viewers are wanting to see down inside a little bit more. Okay. So, because I got a message on there to zoom hold it way out there. All right, show you guys in here a little bit more. So,
play this back.
Okay.
Catch anything on,
Thanks. So Sean's going to play that back while he's listening for anything we came across there. I'll show you guys the inside of the house. Hopefully we don't get disconnected. So this is down in the basement area. And it doesn't do it justice for how big the house actually was. But you can actually, see the stone walls of the basement all along there. I've seen snakes all over in there. So it's really an interesting site. I mean, these are really, really ruins. Get an idea. So what was the question about the fire? The fire was deliberately caused, or they may have been trying to hide something. Well, maybe, or somebody maybe didn't want it revitalized. I don't know. It's hard to tell now. I haven't done too much research on the fire specifically because I've been so busy when covering this site to make sure that the story about the families are straight. The headline in the newspaper was "Haunted House Burns Down." So they already had a lot of different stories about hauntings here, but this is actually a place. Think about, what we do today, girlfriends to a place, to spook them. They would do that here too. So, and then this is the other part of the house. This is one of the wings that didn't actually have a basement, but it keeps going back up into there. So they had dining room, bedrooms, there were servants' quarters that were back there. And then you see, I don't know if you can still see Sean over there, but this was a whole back patio area, which you have to be careful walking through. I've wrenched a knee in here before. But that's where I heard walking from there back into the well. So, but it goes on for quite a ways. And then even back in here, you know, it seems like, okay, that's where, it seems like that's where the house would end. No, 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 no. It keeps going on over here. So this is a whole other wing to the house. So this whole depression in here, I don't know how well you guys can actually see the depression, but it was all the way back through there. It was really big. So, and then the front of the house was over there by that big tree. It was actually the front of the house, the whole stonework is still all in there, and the front steps are right over there. So let's go back over here by Sean, see if he caught anything. Let's see, when did it burn down? 1923. So it burned down almost 100 years ago. Originally abandoned in, I want to say 1896. It was either 1896 or 1898. And then the orphanage came into play up the hill in 1906. You get anything?
I thought I heard something, but
Clarify that. No, they didn't call the orphanage a haunted house. They called the Swift Mansion a haunted house. The orphanage was up the hill. We're trying. I keep hitting reconnect every time it disconnects. So I don't know anything about the history. You got a bug around your chin. There you go. Dealing with mosquitoes like crazy. And there's Shauna saying, yeah, the paranormal's been a very long time. Yeah, and right, we've been looking at articles from early 1900s and 1800s. It's part of a big project that we're doing.
I don't think
Anything?
so. No, I don't think so. I'll listen to it all again when I get home. And I'll have my good headphones with me. And
yeah, and I've got it all going on my arm too.
Nice.
Got the audio recorder there too, so I'll listen to it as well. So,
okay.
all right. Well, you want to see up the hill?
Yeah, let's go up there.
All right, we're gonna head up the hill.
We'll grab
So
the rain pod.
we have to go a long way around because it's basically a lake up there. So that storm that hit Shauna and I in Illinois on Friday hit me yesterday morning in Indianapolis, which made the beginning of that event a nightmare. And it hit here late last night. I guess it would be early this morning, technically.
Yeah. It was like probably 3 o'clock in the morning, at least.
3 a.m.?
I live an hour away, so.
So it would have hit about 2 a.m. here.
Yeah.
And so that knocked down trees to block the road coming in here, so we had to walk a good ways. And it created this lake up here at the front. So we're gonna go around that. And here, I'll show you guys the path. You can see some of it, maybe it's kind of lost in the vegetation a little bit, but the stone piece. There's big daddy long legs for Sean. Actually, 2 daddy long legs getting it on.
I'll check them
All
out.
right. Are we back? Shauna says kill them. She hates spiders. Try to traverse through here.
Don't kill spiders.
Yeah.
They're our friends.
They're our friends. They kill the other bugs that are biting us right now.
Exactly.
So, but there's two that are missing. Shauna and I solved the mystery of what happened to the missing pillars because there's bases of 2 others that are around here that were completely missing. And we knew that kids couldn't have made off with them because they're heavy. I mean, that's only part of the pillar that was originally here. Take a look at the old photographs. So, see, this is our lake or river or whatever.
Get the forge across the river.
Yep. So, bear with us as we try to do this and not wind up in the mud. And I need new boots, which is fun. The whole path is a river. So, Shauna, I'm sure you're happy you didn't come along on this trip as we go through.
I actually always hope that she's coming, and she never comes. One day
when was the last time?
Person.
Have you never met Shauna?
Never met her in person.
Oh, wow. So,
yeah, there's a problem with that.
Shauna, you have to meet Sean. What the heck's up with that?
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go this way. So, oh, and that can take you by. So here's the base to one of the pillars. Where did it go? We'll answer that question here shortly. We answer it in the big December video. So I know we're getting a little low on battery here, so to cut this out before we get up there so I can show you, watch that video. But we figured it out, and I doubt that they even know that they have them. So this is a little bit of a hike that we're going to go on. But you guys can get an idea here. That field down there, the kids from the orphanage would come down here and farm that field. The most of their fields were up this hill. And so they would actually come down this hill past the Swift mansion that everybody calls the Gore Orphanage, and is not the Gore Orphanage. But they would come past and farm that field. So I expect they spend a little time in the house just to play. It just makes sense. So it's a pretty scenic hike, because once they stop the road, it becomes like a jungle took over the road. It's pretty cool. So,
love it when nature takes over.
yeah. So, hope you brought the proper footwear.
I'm wearing Merrell's. Is that another plug?
There you go. And if you guys would like to sponsor us, by all means, we'd appreciate that.
Yes, free Merrell's for life.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
So to give you guys an idea of the roads, you just sign that says no vehicles beyond this point. Although there is a ranger's house up here. It's a park now. So the ranger for the park lives up here. So that's basically the only vehicle that goes up and down this road. Although apparently he had some friends in last night.
Yeah.
We caught them trying to drive out, and we're like, hey, I don't know how well you guys watching the video can tell the grade and how steep this is. But Sean, can you imagine a bunch of kids pushing a cart up and down this hill?
Kids have energy.
Kids have energy.
Mine do. No, that would be crazy. Pushing a cart,
yeah,
probably sometimes filled with equipment, and then maybe coming back with produce. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, the one kid got in like some major trouble because he stole money out of the sugar jar to buy himself a bike so he could push that cart around, or basically pull it on his bike.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's a bit just for a walk.
Ooh, it is.
So here's the ranger's house. Back down that driveway. But this is where they cut off Gore Orphanage Road. So you can go over the top, or you can go around it. This is where it becomes a jungle. You never know, there might be a Mayan temple up here. Not likely, but you know. I like to imagine. Yeah, we can hear them. They're a little loud. I'll go around because I just don't want to catch my crotch on the thing. Now they're driving out. That's really the only bit of traffic that comes by here. Now, when there isn't a tree down over there, there's a little bit more as people come. They'll come down and park near the Swift Mansion area, and they'll go fishing down at the river. So here you guys go. View up the hill. But look at it, it's like a little path.
Yeah.
That people have walked on, and the rest of the road is just hidden underneath. Now just think, this has only been a couple of decades that they've had this shut down. Imagine, you know, over hundreds or thousands of years. I mean, this would be completely disappeared under the ground. Yeah, you'd have no idea. And we have more downed trees to deal with. Now, we better not have a signal cutting out up here. And it's up here, just a little ways, where Shauna caught the vibrator in her ear. Her words, not mine.
Ghostgasm came from?
Oh, the ectogasm?
Ectogasm?
No, that came from an incident at the cafe that she used to investigate at. That was in her hometown.
And she had an ectogasm.
Well, no, the ghost had an ectogasm on one of their investigators. So yeah, that was right around in here where she caught the vibrator in the ear. So I had actually heard a noise that she didn't hear. She caught it in the ear right about here. So Shauna, I know you're still watching. You could probably tell that story a little bit, I guess. So we're all saying, feeling so horrible how the children were treated there. Yeah. Yeah, they were treated really bad. So, like, they would draw one bath, and 15 kids would have to take that bath. There's one of the girls that testified to that. So imagine being number 15 in that bath. Yeah, it's terrible.
That's when I take a bath. You come out dirtier than you came in.
Probably. So, yeah, you can, like I said, the newspaper articles on that are readily available if you look them up, or just watch our Gore Orphanage Legends video from back in December. It's part of our Ghosts and Legends series.
Mike.
Yeah.
Did you tag this tree?
Mike 2018? No, that wasn't me. I did not tag the tree. Somebody tagged the tree. It was Mike 2018. It was not me.
I was joking.
I don't usually do that unless it's at a place that, like some of these different haunted locations have a wall that everybody can sign, and I'll do that. So this becomes a lot of fun up here because it turns into a cliff. Yeah, you get to see why they closed down the road. It wasn't just because it was little used, it's because it's literally falling into the river. Getting your exercise in today.
Yeah, getting my steps in.
Yeah, just a few. All right, so the perspective on video never quite does it justice. But basically right now, we're overlooking a cliff, so this drops straight off to the Vermilion River that's down there. And you can see it through the trees kind of running. Taking the drone up here, but I haven't shared the footage yet. So I was up here with Lee Ehrlich during that time, but it gets, yeah, just don't get too close to the edge, Sean. But you can see, oh, well, you guys can see. You can see the guardrail down there. Excuse me. But, I mean, that guardrail is a good 10 to 15 feet off the road. That's just, we keep losing more and more. So I'm sure much has been lost since Shauna and I first came up here. But yeah, it's what do you think of that?
You know, when settlers came and people started building, they didn't really think about things like erosion and things like that. And then, of course, the cost that comes along with having to repair it.
Yeah.
So you end up with broken roads like this from time to time.
Right. Well, see, I would imagine some activity that's experienced around here. I mean, imagine car accidents.
Right.
You know,
Definitely.
they had to have happened around here.
It'd actually be kind of cool to go down there and.
Like I said, I've taken the drone over and down. You lose the connection again. So, all right, let's head up this way. So, be careful here because totally lose the road right here.
Definitely.
And I would hate to be any of these houses that back up against this because they're losing their backyard. Because there are houses up here.
I'm having kind of a deja vu right now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I think that's the challenge of it. Yeah, is it something that that's going to happen to you, or is it something that already has? And I do believe in reincarnation, so it's something that happened in a past life.
Right.
So now our mystery of the missing pillars plays out right here. They're up at the top here, alongside their driveway, which they probably don't even know where they came from. But this house is the site of the boys' dormitory for the orphanage. Now, the house itself is not the actual house that was used for the dormitory, but they built this house upon that site. So the boys would stay here, and the girls would stay over there. You want to know how you remember the farms around here? So this was the Hughes farm. Hughes house was here. And the house over there where the girls were at was the Howard farm.
Oh.
So Howard Hughes.
Nice.
Yeah. So those are our pillars from the Swift mansion. So now imagine.
Oh, their driveway goes right between them.
Yep. Driveway goes right between them. Now imagine this. John, you just walked up that hill. Imagine being one of the kids ordered to put that on the back of a cart and drag it up the hill.
Yeah.
Because that, I am probably 99% sure is what happened.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
I'm just carrying a backpack and I'm sweating like crazy.
Mickey Dole is saying, I like this history hike thing. Well, glad you were enjoying it, Mickey. So yeah, it's a nice little hike, that's for sure. And basically this, and they essentially use it for a driveway now, but this was actually Gore Orphanage Road. Right here. It still technically is, I guess.
Yeah.
Until it hits their driveway. And then the rest of the road is blocked off. So
Did we drive past this?
we did not drive past, we drove past the sign for Gore Orphanage Road, which is the road that's out here, because this curves into it and becomes Gore Orphanage that crosses 113. So, yeah, people will take Gore Orphanage Road thinking that they're going to go to Gore, or the house down there, and it doesn't, because it comes to here, it dead ends. So when we get to the end of the road here, I'll have a little bit more information. A little harder to see now because all the crops have grown up. But yeah, Shauna and I have done a couple of videos out here before. A couple actually, because this is probably the 5th time I've done a video on this. But so, all right. So we come up here to where it's wet. Sean's probably like, how much more walking do we have? Not much. I mean, there's actually, as far as I know, one surviving building from the orphanage.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I don't know how well you guys can see it through the cornfields, but there's a new housing development that's over there. That would have been the Howard farm where the girls' dormitory was at, and until they put that housing development in, or started putting it in, because they still have houses to build out there, the foundation of the girls' dormitory was still there. That's gone now because they tore it all up to put in housing development. But if you continue down this road, make a right, on the left-hand side of the road is the building that they used for the school and the church. And that is now somebody's home. That's the one remaining building.
Really?
Yep.
I wonder if they get any activity in their home.
I don't know. I'd love to find out. So, Shauna and I have driven past it, but yeah, we haven't knocked on the door or anything. But you can still, it still has like the steeple and everything on it, like where the bell is and all that.
Really?
Yep. So, which is pretty cool. So, all right, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off the live stream. I was getting the low battery warning a little while ago, and I want to keep some battery just in case. So, Sean, thanks for hanging out, coming on the tour.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for bringing me out here. It's a really cool spot.
Yeah.
If anyone has time to come out on a hike and check this out, it's definitely worth your while. It's really neat.
Yeah, a lot of interesting things that go on here. And it's like, you know, it's not like the most haunted place ever, but it has some mild activity. And the history about it is really interesting, especially when we start diving into the mysteries of the place and uncovering the truth of what happened here. And I think the truth of what they did to these kids here is, you know, a lot more vicious than like the 5-second story you get of, you know, the house getting set on fire and the kids dying and that, which wasn't ever true. You know, for 10 years they were abused here, which is sad.
That's really sad.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody. Yeah, Jeebus, sorry you missed the whole thing. Just rewind, go through it again. It's a great location. I do encourage you guys to also check out our Gore Orphanage Legends video that we posted back in December. I did a Throwback Thursday post here on it, so you can go back. You can go back, check that out. You'll get a lot more in depth on the history. You'll see some of the old photos, even of some of the kids that actually were part of the orphanage here, and all the old photos of the old Swift mansion. So, and then the newspaper articles too are all involved with that. So by all means, check that out. And if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. We're trying to get to 8,000 by the end of August. We're like this close.
Yes. Hit the bell too.
Yeah, hit the bell for notifications so you get all the notifications when we go live, when we post videos, all that stuff. So we'll catch y'all later. Shauna, I will see you tomorrow night, my love. Take care.
Busy man right here.
This is true. Have a great one, everyone. If I could
Bye, everybody.
if I could find the off button, there it is.
Bye.
See ya.